School's almost out and the boys of summer well in full swing. Hello again and thanks for opening up the Marauders magazine with us today. It's the inside look at our minor league baseball team right here in Bradenton. The most jam-packed show yet on tap today. We're going to give you the game day experience at McKechnie Field and go inside the Marauders clubhouse. And we'll step away from the field and into the community and learn a bit about the parent club Pittsburgh Pirates and their community commitment program. And of course, we'll put a player back on the 60-second hot seat again today as well. But we start with Cole White. To us, Cole's an outfielder for the Marauders, but to a whole different crop of people, his name's not Cole, it's Lieutenant. See, White's a 2008 West Point graduate, and along with that comes a service requirement to the United States Army. So now, after a year and a half away from the baseball field, White is back with the Marauders and trying to prove he still belongs. 21.8, the average age of the 2011 Marauders. Outfielder Cole White's an outlier, 26, with just 2 years of pro ball at the short season level after 2 years of active military service.
It's something that if you get wrapped up in, and I've been wrapped up at times thinking, oh, I'm 26, I've only, I took 2 years off, I've only played low A ball, and here I am in high A, and you can get wrapped up in it, but if you do, then you're gonna just spin your wheels and get nowhere.
While some might discard White because of his age and situation, the Pirates, with no obligation to do so, gave him another look.
Right. Well, this organization, values character, and it values, people of integrity, and it especially values a guy that served our country, it speaks a lot towards, it'd be easy to come back, give him a shot and then go, but these guys want to make sure that they gave him what he deserved.
Days after the Assistant Secretary of the Army granted White's early release, he was in State College, playing mostly with kids straight off college campuses.
Wow, this guy, served in our military and for 2 years, and to see him in his first batting practice, you could see he was a little rusty, but I don't know, he had so much power, so much strength, and it was good to see him swinging again.
Him coming in with the attitude and the disciplines that he showed, and getting in the cage working every day, I think he showed the example of that he was going to show up and give 100% every day, regardless of how he felt. I thought guys really embraced him. As the season went on, you could start to see that kind of pay off.
But as natural as baseball comes to White, this challenge is hard.
Hitting's the hardest thing there is doing in all athletics. So when you talk about coming over from that standpoint, obviously there's going to be some adjustment period, there's going to be some catch-up period.
I knew that coming into it that it was going to be difficult to adjust to it, but you just gotta keep things in a positive light and just get ready for the next day if things don't go well.
Even hurt for a couple days, you step back in there, 90 mile an hour fastball might look like 98, and that's enough to throw anybody off.
These pitchers are definitely the best I've faced so far in my career, and you take that time off and then you get right back into it and you're facing the best of the best.
The trek's not without reward. In his first spring training this year, White got the call to be a minor league extra at a big league spring training game.
I come up with the bases loaded and my heart's beating out of my chest. I never thought that I'd be in this situation, and I really didn't even see the pitch that I hit. I just, came across the plate and I hit it somehow, and kind of joke around and tell my dad that I blacked out, and then next thing I know, I'm on first base. To me, it was one of the highlights of my life. Graduating from West Point, being in the Army, and then being in a professional spring training game against guys that I've looked up to my whole life.
And that fuel has kept the real major league dream, not just the spring training one, alive.
He's doing the things to get himself prepared and get himself ready and keep things as simple as possible. But with the work ethics he does, it'll show up here soon, hopefully.
Yeah, it's there. It's a long road. A lot of good things have to happen, but I'm convinced that if you continue to work hard and just put all your effort into it and go at it with a positive attitude. I mean, as cliche as that sounds, it works for most people, and this is a second chance and a second opportunity for me to do it, and I really don't take anything for granted now. And I'm happy being here, and of course I want to move up, and I'm just going to continue to work at it.
We continue here in our METV studios, and we're joined now by Cole White. Tell me a little bit about the process for you. We took a look at the baseball side of things and getting back into the game, but the process for you in terms of the road that it took from being in the Army to getting yourself back into baseball, and what that was like for you.
Well, it was quite a long process, a lot of paperwork. You know, I had a 24-month commitment that I had to fulfill before I could try to play again. And what I did was, about a year and a half into my commitment, I sent up paperwork to the Pentagon and had to get a number of signatures for approval. And through that process, you know, it went rung by rung, and it was you know, I had to be very patient because, you know, in the Army, paperwork takes quite a while. But you know, I got my release in June, and I think 5 or 6 days later, I was up in State College playing baseball again. That
came from the Assistant Secretary of the Army too, the OK?
Yes.
That's a high ladder. Is it kind of surreal when you think about it?
Yeah, it was pretty impressive at the how high my paperwork actually went. You know, I was in a unit at Fort Hood, Texas, and it went through my chain of command and then all the way up to the Assistant Secretary of the Army. You know, I was very fortunate for them to approve it and allow me this opportunity.
Describe the balancing act for me too, because you know when you go to West Point that there's obviously a service commitment, and I mean that's a big part of the reason why you go, and then you balance that too with, I'm sure, wanting to play baseball. And I know we've talked in the past about your family wanting to be able to see you play baseball, and being able to put those two things side by side. Is it a thought in terms of how you're going to make those work as you go to college at West Point, and then as you go through your career, and then when it comes time to graduate and do both, how you're going to make that work?
It's really something you have to learn how to separate, and you want to give your full attention to what you're doing at that time. While I was in the Army, you know, baseball was kind of out of my mind and kind of on the back burner. I mean, I wasn't really focused on that. I was focused on doing my job and leading soldiers that I was in charge of. Sure. So for me, I had to learn how to separate the two and just give my full effort for whichever one I was doing at the moment.
Describe being in the Army for me. Somebody on the outside, what's it like?
It's good. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, early mornings, late nights, a lot of training, a lot of sacrifices you have to make in terms of, you know, families and getting deployed. I was fortunate to stay on U.S. soil, but it's like clockwork. I mean, you know where to be at every moment, and you know what to be doing, and you get to experience things that the normal everyday person doesn't get to experience in terms of the type of training you do and the people you meet. Keeps it very fresh and very interesting.
Seems like a juvenile question, but what's it like, A, to ride on a tank, and B, to blow stuff up?
It's awesome. It's an adrenaline rush. I think that's why a lot of people go into it. You know, it gets you out of your everyday comfort zone and kind of puts you in a place where you've never been. And you know, not many people at the end of the day can go home and say, well, I blew up, you know, a house today with a M1A1 Abrams tank. So it's very, very cool.
What comes along with that, though, in terms of training? I mean, obviously they don't just put you in a tank. I mean, there's hours of preparation, years of preparation at West Point. I mean, the types of stuff that you have to do, not just mechanically and mentally and just by learning the ropes and what buttons to push, but physically too. I mean, you've got to be in alpha shape.
Right. You know, it's a process. They call it crawl, walk, run. Okay. In the Army, and you start by crawling. You learn the basic maneuver tactics as like an infantryman, just kind of on your own, on your feet, and then you know, small unit tactics lead into bigger unit tactics, and then you kind of get into your specific job, which mine was being an armor officer. So I went to Fort Knox, Kentucky, where I spent 4.5 months basically learning everything there is to know about tanks and how to maneuver, how to shoot, how to use them on a battlefield. so they don't just throw you right into it and say, hey, good luck. It's a very slow process that gets you ready for that, for that moment in combat where you're going to be used as a weapon, basically.
You said you had the fortune of not being deployed, that all your service time was on U.S. soil. Is there a good and a bad to that in terms of, obviously, when you go into the Army and the circumstances that surrounded you wanting to go into the Army? I mean, we've talked about what's kind of happened in the country over the last 10 years influencing you. The maybe good of you're out of harm's way in some essence of being able to stay in this country, but the bad in terms of all of that training and all of those hours and all of that commitment that you had, and you don't get to use that in the end. Is there a balancing act there to you?
There really is. You go through countless amounts of training and preparation for that moment where you may be in combat, and then to not see it happen. I'm very fortunate, because once a real bullets start flying and bombs going off, things get real serious, real quick. And so for me, being in simulated training and simulated battle, and I count my blessings every day that's as far as it went. But you get prepared to do your job in combat, and it's one of those things where you don't hope for it to happen, but you're ready if it does.
Now, your unit, too, was actually deployed right after you got your release, too, or I guess soon after you got your release. So they're in Iraq now, correct?
Yes.
Describe that feeling for me, knowing people that you trained with, people you were in command of, that are now in that line of fire.
It's one of those things where when I was applying for the process, to get my early release to come play baseball, if I didn't feel that the people who I worked with wanted me to be doing this, I wouldn't be doing it. And, you can almost beat yourself up and say, I feel a little guilty for me being here right now, and the people I train with are in Iraq and Afghanistan, away from their families, doing combat missions. But at the end of the day, every single one of them that I worked with, all my friends that I went to school with, I mean, they're proud for the fact that I'm doing this right now and representing the Army through this light. And, that's what makes it all worth it. If I didn't feel like I had their support, I would still be doing what, I'd still be with my unit in Iraq and doing my job in the Army.
Is it hard on you too sometimes with people your unit or any unit, classmates at West Point, and I'm sure having lost people over the last couple of years to war? Is that a difficult thing if you're over there or not? But to lose friends, I mean, most people don't have that feeling.
Yeah, and we've lost several classmates. Lost several friends that I've done training with. Several friends have got significantly hurt over there, and it's one of those things. You just pray that everyone that that goes over there doesn't have to experience that. But at the same time, I mean, you go over there, in the back of your head, that that's a possibility, and it's each person deals with it in their own way, and it's just a harsh reality of the effects of war. And I hope that everyone I know who's over there right now comes back safe and has a good deployment. But that's when things get real, and it's not fake anymore. It's the real deal.
Cole, appreciate it. Best of luck with the Marauders here, and as you continue on in your baseball career. I know it's an interesting battle for you with the time off, but continued success, all right?
Thank you.
And we continue next right here on the Marauders Magazine.
Come out to McKechnie Field and catch the Marauders in action. Grab a phone and call 941-747-3031 or visit online at BradentonMarauders.com. Single game tickets are just $7 and group rates start at 10 people. Make sure to also check out group, picnic, and suite packages. Have your birthday party at a Marauders game. Bring your Little League team and be our baseball buddies. You can even run onto the field before first pitch with the Marauders. Or join the Kids Club, a ticket to every Tuesday game and other great benefits for just $15. For more information, call now or visit BradentonMarauders.com.
Back here on the Marauders magazine, we are here at McKechnie Field for our first behind-the-scenes segment, and what better place to start behind the scenes than the Bradenton Marauders clubhouse, also the Pittsburgh Pirates spring training clubhouse. This should be pretty cool. Come on, let's go. All right, we're now here with the head clubhouse manager for the Marauders. It's Scott Barnes. Tell us what goes on in the clubhouse on a daily basis.
That's a number of different things. Basically, you're just resetting up from the night before if there was a game previous, washing clothes, restocking, mainly getting food ready. It's the second most popular thing next to playing baseball here. It's just a repeated thing. You're just getting everything ready for the next night's games. It's a number of just mainly jerseys and food. That's about it.
Can we take a look around?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Let's go.
Start here in the training room. This is basically where everybody guys come get treatment. Variety medicines, tapes, anything to get ready, for the game. It's a lot larger than most training rooms to the league. It's the joys of having, a spring training complex. Cato does a good job in here for the guys. He's the head trainer here, and when we look around a little bit, a variety of different tables for anywhere from, using them for stretching to basically just getting ready to play, the night's game. It's all.
This is where we work.
Yep, this is the weight room here. Once again, it's fairly good size. Joys of spring training, but as you can see, just a number of different equipment. So they do anywhere from getting loose before the game. A lot of them have to come in here after the game. They got different training programs they have to stick to.
How big is this compared to other weight rooms? How luxurious?
It's pretty good. I've been in some where you only get maybe one bike, just a small machine type thing. So it's nice having to where you can get multiple guys in here. Obviously you got a lot more equipment, so you can get through the routine a lot faster.
Time to check out a little laundry, a little shower facility.
Obviously the showers. It's decent. It gets a little crowded though. After the end of the game, everybody's wanting to get out of here quick, so it gets a little roomy for some comfort, but it's all right. It gets the job done. And next to it here is a laundry facility where I spend a good portion of the night after the game getting everything kind of ready to go for the next day. It is nice having the multiple washers, dryers there instead of I've been in a place before in my years of doing this, and I had basically 2 washing machines and only 1 dryer, so it makes the night a lot longer.
You mentioned food. Check out the cafeteria.
Cafeteria, yeah, we can do that. Basically all these, where it's kept, has to be locked up because if not, the animals will get in it and it'll be gone in a day. We'll come through here to the kitchen. Cafeteria here, ice table. This is a real luxury we have here because this is a full, not only just serving line, but it is a full functional kitchen, stoves, ovens, and all that, which makes it nice. It's in-house. We got Chef Tim that cooks for us after the games. He does a great job. He's also the spring training chef. He will cook for the visiting teams when they come in too, so that's another luxury. This is all your functional stove top. It's a steam table here. Inside, kind of behind the scenes. Like I said, another good conventional oven. You can get a lot of stuff in and out. Our guys, they love the typical crock pot meal. So we got some Progresso soup going here. Beef for today. Kind of getting it going. They love it. Anywhere from the ravioli to different types of soups.
How many channels of TV does the clubhouse get?
We're fully functional with just about a little bit of everything in here. We kind of keep it that way since we spend 90% of the time here. It's nice having the big 60-inch TV, nice comfy couches. They sleep well at night.
Kangaroo court.
Yeah.
Always important.
Yeah, it is. It is. It kind of sets the laws around here.
Let's, I guess, coach's office. Let's go
Yeah.
say hi to Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos should be in
Carlos,
there.
this way.
Here's manager's office. As you can see Carlos Garcia, our manager, talking to one of our players here. This is kind of his home away from home here throughout the night. And then next to it, let's see what we got here. Yeah, there are. This is where pitching coach is on one side, hitting coach is on the other. It's kind of, you know, it's sort of a meeting room too, minus, you know, it's where their desks are. But, you know, if they go over, you know, different things, got all the white, you know, marker boards and all here.
So that'll do it here for our behind-the-scenes clubhouse tour here at McKechnie Field. Many thanks to Scott Barnes.
Yeah, glad y'all could stop by. I hope it gave you an inside look of the clubhouse, you know, without the baseball field intact there. It's kind of what goes on.
In the meantime, we've got a game to prepare for, so we've got to cut you guys loose. But thanks for stopping by, and we'll continue next here on the Marauders Magazine. Continue here on the Marauders Magazine, and as always this show, it is our chance to put a player on the 60-second hot seat. Quentin Miller, you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go. First question for you, favorite movie?
Favorite movie, Remember the Titans.
Favorite baseball-related movie?
For Love of the Game.
Favorite non-sports movie?
The Hangover.
Do you have a pregame routine?
No.
Any superstitions, nothing?
Just don't step on the line.
Walk-up music for you, or I guess pregame pitch music for you. What's your song?
Amazing, Kanye West.
What's the rationale behind that?
I'm amazing.
What's your favorite website to visit?
ESPN.
Favorite
Facebook.
Favorite ballpark you've played in?
Probably Lakewood, the Phillies low A team.
What's your favorite FSL ballpark so far?
Probably Tampa.
Favorite non-sport or favorite sport that's non-baseball?
Probably college basketball.
What's your career ambition outside of baseball?
I have no idea.
Pet peeve?
None.
Comfort food?
Chipotle.
Lucky number?
14.
And you're off the hot seat.
Sweet.
That's Quentin Miller here on the hot seat. I think we went more than 60 seconds, but kudos, you hung in well.
Thank you.
We continue next here on the Marauders Magazine.
You can catch the Marauders all season long, all 140 Marauders games on the radio in 2011. Just tune to 1280 AM WTMY, your home for the Marauders. Join Joel Gadet before first pitch for the On Deck Show, inside interviews, analysis, and more. Then don't miss a pitch. Stick around to hear the Marauders hit the field. That's all season long. 1280 AM WTMY, the talk station, and your home for Marauders baseball.
We're here today at the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranch. There are 4 of these centers across the state, and it's basically a place where at-risk youth can come and get themselves set on a good life path. Today, 3 Marauders came to talk to the kids that are here, play a little bit of kickball, a little bit of basketball and baseball as well. Just have a good time. It's part of the greater Pirates Community Commitment Program, which has players at each rung of the minor leagues and at the major league level donating their time to the communities in which they play. Over the years, it's accounted for countless, thousands of hours of community service and touched an immeasurable amount of lives. Court kickball, little mix of kickball, dodgeball, a lot of different games. And on this particular Saturday, Marauders Ramon Cabrera, Ilevis Gonzalez, and Adalberto Santos got schooled in how to play.
I fouled out one time. I learned a new trick of kicking to myself and run and throw it.
I think they've kind of made the rules as they've gone, but it's turned out to be a pretty fun game and gets everybody involved. And you don't have to be the best athlete to do well. You know, sometimes you got to use your brains and make the right play and throw the ball the right direction.
I heard you hit 3 home runs today.
Yeah, I got 3, but I take it 1 for the game tonight.
The Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranch program has been operating for 55 years, helping to prevent kids from finding trouble. And visits like this, if only to play court kickball, go a long way.
Not many like guys that play professional sports come out and reach out to younger guys like us. And for them to do that, that's a really special thing, I think. And for them to actually take the time out of their day to come and spend time with us, that's just amazing. And I appreciate that.
A lot of our guys aspire to be baseball players, football players, and to have athletes come out that have made it to the next level and to let them know, hey, just stick with it, it could happen. Because a lot of our guys struggle with that.
I'm glad they came. It was fun. Scoring, we outscored the team actually.
And some kids were able to connect on a personal level, like Dylan and catcher Cabrera.
It really hit me. Not hard, but he felt like a friend, almost like a brother, just spending like 45 minutes together.
But the funny part is, as much as this means to the kids, the players actually grow from the experience too.
Being where I come from, being in the same exact footsteps and in the seats that they're in, and being able to just have some fun and show them some sportsmanship.
I don't do this in Venezuela, but when I'm here, I like to help people.
Definitely relates, and it's fun to come out anytime when you can relate to a certain subject, and especially something like this, and be able to help and give back and just have some fun, and show them that you can never give up and always just keep pursuing what you love.
And therein lies the overriding goal of the Pirates Community Commitment Program, to impact others' lives and maybe touch the players along the way as well.
They're related to us type thing. They got the same stories, and so they came down and shared with us, and then we just take what they said and know that somebody else is out there too.
And that wraps up another edition of the Marauders Magazine. Remember, the Marauders play all summer long in Bradenton, right at McKechnie Field. We'll be back here next month with more inside looks at the team. And as always, for more information, you can find out anything you need to know anytime online at BradentonMarauders.com. But as always, for now, it's my turn to walk the plank. Thanks for joining us.